Hey everyone, Greg with Drifter Journey. We got an exciting video for you today. We're going to be talking about portable toilets. These were all sent to us at no charge. We aren't being paid by any of them. So we're going to give you an honest review. We're going to go over the sizes, features, costs. One of the important things, the pee test. So we're going to fill them up and dump them, see how they pour, because you want to be able to, not get pee on you when you're pouring them. And then we'll give you our opinions. We're going to do a sit test because that's also important. So we're going to go over them one by one. If you do want to purchase any of them, we will put links in the description. It will help support the channel. And if any of them give us a discount at any time, we will have the best prices down there. So let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to be going over them one at a time, but we have the Trelino Evo. This is the large model. We have the Joolca Gotta-Go. And over here we have the Compo Closet Cuddy Light. So we're going to start by going over the Trelino Evo L for large. This one has a soft close lid, as you can see there. And then once you come up inside, there is a large opening for solids and a urine diverter section here. Did come with recycling bags, so they're recycled garbage bags basically. So let's take it apart a little bit so I can show you what's going on. This one has a 2.6 gallon capacity for solids and also a 2.6 gallon capacity for liquids. One con on this one that I've noticed, it does not have a urine level indicator. So if you've been living in a van, other than us, because we always use Nalgene's and you could see, but if you're using any of these in a van, all of our friends that have done it have at least overflowed their urine at least one time. And I think you don't want to do it because it stinks real bad. So I would just kind of judge what you're going to be using and make sure that you change it out often enough. So when it comes to the urine jug, it does have a solid cap. So when you go to dump it, you can take off the one that goes through, cap it, so you're not spilling on yourself on the way to go and dump it. So we're going to do a dump test on all these because I'm curious how they pour, if you're going to get any splashback or anything. So stay tuned for that. And we're going to do the sit test together too. So the solids bin, 2.6 gallons also. So for us personally, I would say something like that is going to go, I think I did the math, you're probably going to get 2 to 3 days out of this with 2 people. And if you're trying to keep this somewhat fresh, you're probably going to be sitting, you could probably get up to a week out of that. Also, there is a lid for the solids bin, so you have to bring it inside somewhere. Be nonchalant about it. It's capped. The handle, I'd be curious to test it with a lot of weight. I'm sure they did. It should hold up, but doesn't feel the strongest. And the last thought I have on this one, before we get into the next model, is, since we're being honest and open with all our thoughts, the solid section, this is the only model, this is open. So my thought with it, this is closed and sealed. It should hopefully keep all the smells down. We did actually meet someone recently that's using one of these and they said they had no problems with the smells. But it is the only one with an open section there. We've been using a Home Depot bucket for a long time with just a camp toilet lid, also not sealed, sealed within reason, and it doesn't really smell. So I'm not overly concerned with that, but that is one thing with this model. So cost, it currently retails at $5.99. And you can get an additional fan for $250 currently. So there is a fan option to help vent it. And this one is the lightest of the three, coming in at 10.8 pounds. So that's the Trelino Evo. Let's get into the next one. All right, next up we have the Joolca Gotta-Go. This one, I would say, seems to be the most feature-rich, but also the most confusing. So we're gonna go over everything. I'm gonna show you some of the pros and cons on this one. So first thing here, we're not soft closing. Did seem to get some pressure however at the end, so it didn't slam. First thing I noticed on them, they do have the smallest solids opening, and they do come prepared for that though. So urine diverter again, and once we get into the inside of it, we get nice padded pieces there. They got a nice non-slip on the bottom that I noticed. But once we get into the inside, we get some pros and cons right away. So one of the cons I noticed, if you don't have anything in here and you open it, it can want to tip back. I think once you have some weight in, and we'll test that once we have the urine full, it probably won't, but that's something to think about. There's weight in the upper half that could slam that back if you're not paying attention. In relation to their small section for the solids, they do come with a poo poker and a spray bottle, so you can clean that upper section easily if you need to. So I would say that's one of the cons: the weight, the small opening, and of the three, it has the smallest urine holder, 1.2 gallons. So I'd say you're probably gonna be draining this, dumping this every day for 2 people. And then there's 2.5 gallons for the solids, which I would say is probably gonna last, same thing, 10 days-ish. So let's get to some of the positives I see here. They have nice, solid connection O-rings here to keep things nice and sealed. And then that's for your solids. And then in your solids, you have this nice handle that opens and closes to get in and out of that. There's also a nice rubber gasket here. So I have no doubt this one, I could be wrong, but I don't think it's gonna smell because it's really solidly sealed. Another option for this, we don't have it here. This one can also be set up as a cassette toilet. So with the liquid breakdown stuff, it's a separate piece than the composting version that you can order for, I think it was $69. So if you wanted to be able to use it as a cassette toilet, that is also an option. So let's talk about this. Comes with the little, that's for when you are peeing for transport. It's got a solid cap to close, nice handle to carry that out. And then we'll get into the bottom solid section. So nice solid handle here, solid hardware. Like I said, nice handle for opening and closing and sealed. This one, although I do think it is probably the most solid when it comes to seals and whatnot, it's also the most difficult to figure out, personally. I think once you have it figured out, it's not going to be an issue. But we were just messing around with it with the bagging situation, and I was a little confused with how the instructions work. But basically, you have a little plastic piece here that you can put your plastic bag or compost bag in on, right? It goes in there. This all seals up. And then when you go to take it out later, right, that's connected still. So now your bag's coming out with it. It's saying that you can twist, grab, pull, take it off. Now you got it closed. You never had to see the poop. So pretty cool idea. Might take a little bit of getting used to. And then there is a low lock feature so that you can't accidentally open that. So this one comes in quite a bit heavier at 16.9 pounds. It does have a urine level indicator. We'll be testing that out in the urine dumping portion of the video. And there is an indicator if you're using it as a cassette toilet. And price on this one, lowest of the three at $251 currently. Okay, so the last one, the Compo Closet Cuddy Light. This one here, same thing, no soft close. It has the largest solids at 3.9 gallons. And it has 1.7 gallons for the urine. That one is in between the other two. So I'd say you're gonna be dumping this one every, I'd say, day or two with two people. So yeah, some of the features here. We got nice solid hinges here. And there is a fan that comes with an activated carbon filter. So you have a 12-volt fan that comes with it. You do have to, so it plugs into the rear of the unit, but you do have to wire it to your 12-volt power source. So you're gonna have to figure that out. But it is the only one that comes with a fan built into it. So like I was saying, 3.9 gallons is the largest on the solids. That's gonna go for quite a while if you have a couple of people using it. So the largest amount, I'd say probably almost a couple weeks for a couple people. So if you've got a large family, that's probably gonna be your best choice on that. So the upper section, there is a open close flap for the solid section. So you can keep that closed. We're just gonna use the urine and a urine level indicator. So we're gonna be testing that in the next pour test. But you have a little 9-volt battery you put in here, and it's wired, and I don't know how it does it, but somehow it should light up when we get full. So we are going to test that out as we test out the others. This one, heaviest, probably got a little bit largest footprint. They're about the same height, but this one takes a little bit more space width and depth wise. It's the heaviest at 19.8 pounds. Cost on this unit currently, $650. So the pros and cons that I see on this unit right away, pros, it has the largest capacity for the solids, and it has the fan to help with odors. It's not sealed as tight, but I do wonder if they do that on purpose so that the fan is actually able to pull air through. And then cons, I am a little concerned of how the dumping of the urine jug will go, but we will find out here in a moment.
Let's talk about today's video sponsor, Epic Water Filters. We love them because they are working hard to eliminate single-use plastic bottles as well as provide clean drinking water for people across the world. You can shop their household products such as this countertop filter, their in-fridge pitcher, and an under-sink mounted filter that taps into your countertop, as well as Nalgene bottles in 1 and 1.5 liters with awesome graphics. There's a ton to choose from, and interchangeable filters. So once you have a bottle, you don't have to buy another bottle. You can just keep getting filters that are made in the USA. They make a tap water filter, which is great for everyday use. If you're looking for something for travel or the outdoors, you can get their everywhere filter, which filters out more particulates and bacteria, etc. Shop the link in the description below and use the code DRIFTERJOURNEY for a discount.
All right, so we got our trusty water jug here. We're gonna fill them all through the urine hole to simulate using them as is, so we can see if there's any messes when we go to get them. So, you know, we're just gonna start peeing. I think that's probably faster than you would pee, but we will see if the light turns on. So we wait patiently.
Lights on.
Okay, so with the light on, just turned on. As you can see, we splashed everywhere. We weren't being very good with our peeing. I would recommend sitting down to use these. But let's see how close. So we got a couple drips. We did just do it though. We didn't let it sit at all. All right, easy to pick up. And I'm just curious how close to the top when the light came on. So they give you an extra. I can get a whole finger in before I touch it, so you'll have a warning. It won't be full right when it happens. So let's go on to the next one here. Keep an eye on the gauge on the front here. See if it does it. Overflowed.
Overflowed. Okay.
All right, so on the Joolca, lowest price one, we did overflow before it went to red. So the question is it user error? I want to make sure I don't tip it now. That was our other con on this one. Okay, so definitely enough weight. So yeah, Oi! So maybe we didn't have it fully seated.
It might have been, yeah, stuck.
Okay, so it does seem to work, but you may need to get to know it a little bit. You might not have had it fully seated in there, huh? Mm-hmm. And then, see, we did what our friends do. We've got pee, people. All right, so, oh, and that's the splasher.
Oh.
That's why it comes with the other lid before you pull it out. Same thing happened on that one a little bit. So, good to know. Things to know about these. One thing I will say that I did notice on the last two, even though this one doesn't have a gauge, you can kind of hear when it's getting full. So I think you'd get used to it and you would know with the sound, you're like, it's getting close. We should probably change this out. But yeah, we're going to fill this one up. And then dump them. So we are going to get ready to go dump the urine on these. And our filmer brought up one con that she's noticed during this, is that the lid on this one is not on a hinge. So you have to completely take it off and put it somewhere. So first one here, we got a couple little drips of water, stuff on the outside. Seal it up, take it out, and we actually were up to about there on this one. It scared me. It sounded like it was getting full. So this one, we're open. Got a little bit of splashes around. That was from me bouncing it though, so it wasn't that splashy before. Take that off, cap it. One thing I can tell you about this one, it might tip over as soon as I do this. Yeah. So that one's gonna want to tip over. But got it out, so just be prepared for that if you don't have weight in the solids when you're doing that. This one here, this one does not have a cap to close this that I can see. So let's do a little bounce testing. I mean, I'm dropping it pretty hard and I'm barely getting splashes though, so it does seem like they got that pretty well under control there. So that's that. Let's go dump them. Okay, so the Trelino dump. This one's a little scary, a large opening, but nice swivel handle. Imagine I'm going into a toilet or something. Large opening. Not an issue, doesn't seem. Next up, Joolca. Open it. Smaller opening on this one. No air vent that I see. A little bit of plastic floating around, so, you know, luckily there's not pee in there. I'm going to actually just put this to catch it. Had a little bit of plastic from manufacturing in there. No air vent. So we'll see how this goes. Does have a nice, I don't know if that's what it's supposed to be for, but it's like a nice little grip spot here. So get my plastic out that I found. That is what I found. So this one, you're gonna get, if you go fast, you're gonna get girdles. It's a little bit slower pour. The handle's convenient. At least I'm using it as a handle. So you can't pour it out as fast, but I don't know if that's gonna be a huge deal. There's that one. All right, the Compo Closet. We have a little opening. Looks to be a vent, and then since that's there, it should be vented too. And so I'd hold it by the middle there. Pour it out the end. So it does pour fast. What I did notice right when I started to pour, it got some on the outside of it. So we'll go back and go over our final thoughts on these. So we're gonna do the sit test on all three with two people. Trelino. I think it works, but my feeling is that I fall into it. Maybe that's how you're supposed to on all these. Let's find out. Joolca. Feels like it fits me a little bit better. Compo Closet. I feel like I'm sliding into that one a little bit also. So for my butt shape, I think Joolca. Now we're gonna trade real quick. See what you think.
Yeah, I feel like I'm falling into this one.
You're falling into the Trelino?
Yeah. This one is a little bit better.
You're falling into that one
but
too?
It feels like I'm falling into it a little bit. That might be the problem with small people. This one's kind of in between. So I'd say for me also the Joolca feels the most comfortable as far as sitting on the rim goes.
So yeah, for travel toilets, we're used to a home toilet seat. They don't seem to have the same thing. But if Drifter Journey ever comes out with a travel toilet, the perfect travel toilet, we'll mimic a home toilet. But they're all going to suffice. And let's go over our final thoughts on these. So we're getting to the wrap point here, and we are going to go over the Drifter Journey 2-person staff pick. Joolca, reason why. If you've been following us or if you're just now following us, we are very budget conscious and we're pretty cheap. Literally, we've been using a Home Depot bucket for the last 5 years. So cost is always a huge choice for us. And if you buy through our links, this one's probably going to make us the least because it's the cheapest, but that's our choice. It has a little bit of everything, and it's the most cost effective. So what would you want to go with Compo Closet? This may be for your large family, big group, huge capacity on the solids. It has the vent fan built into it. And then the Trelino, I would maybe score it kind of like your best all around. It had the largest urine capacity and a fairly large solids capacity. So any of them, I think the solids are probably going to last you a bit. This one, if you got a lot of use, it's going to last you quite a bit longer than the others. But for 2 people like us or a small group going for shorter periods, these are both going to probably suffice also. Your urine is going to be the biggest problem if you're using them on any of them. Just be ready for that. If you don't know, you're going to go through them probably realistically quicker than you think you're going to. So have something in mind for where you're going to be able to dump the urine on any of them. And pick whichever one has the best features that you thought that would work best for you. Even though we did pick this as the staff pick, it's probably the most complicated to figure out. But overall, I think they're all going to be great options. If you have any questions, leave them below. Or if you just want to talk about poop, put it down below. Make sure you like and hit the subscribe button because that helps support us also. Thank you for watching.